Hello, welcome. I'm Hannah. I'm here today in my ruffliest shirt to chat about what my plans are for 2023 in regards to my spending, my channel, and recap how 2022 went, if there's any takeaways, some other general resolutions for this year, stuff like that. It's going to be a bit of a chatty one. So if you're not here for the chattiness, there'll be more makeup really soon, but yeah, I just wanted to sit down and talk and set the stage for this upcoming year. I don't know exactly what order I'm going to go in because my thoughts might be a little bit intertwined, and of course, in Hannah fashion, I really don't have any notes to reference about what I want to say. First of all, to start, in my video last year where I set the stage for 2022, I acknowledged how stupid of a year 2022 I can't even say it still, how annoying of a year to say 2022 is. And I said, maybe I'll get used to it, and I will tell you, I will not. I'm very excited for 2023. My birthday is on the 23rd of the month in October, so like 23 is kind of like my number. So I think it's going to be my year. In 2022, I started by counting up my inventory as I have for the past 2 years. This will be my third time doing it. And from there, I made a plan to declutter 25% of my stuff. As we speak, I'm still in the process of counting up my inventory. We're going to have videos on my makeup inventory and then my clothing inventory whenever I have that and see how we did. I have been keeping loose track, and I exactly made my goal. I pretty much exactly made my goal on paper. So doing the physical inventory will show me the breakdown of how it went. And also if there's things that I missed to inventory them in or inventory them out, we'll find that out too. But either way, I'm really proud of myself, and compiling that data and sticking to it, giving myself numbers and reasonable goals got me to do it. And I think that's such a wonderful takeaway that to say to me last January, you'll declutter over 1,000 things this year, it would have sounded so overwhelming, so scary, so undoable. But every month I just kept a little sheet in my notes app, and it was 63 items every month plus something for everything that I brought into my life to reach the goal. Editing me popping in to say that I also had a goal that I set at the beginning of the year to only purchase 100 items and 100 pans of eyeshadows, and I ended up abandoning that goal, which then made it way harder for myself. I was doing really good at the start of the year. I fell behind at the middle of the year. And then in October, I absolutely kicked ass. I decluttered so many things, and I still have more to go. I still haven't reached all of my goals with everything having a place. I'm looking around now and I still have a laundry basket of stuff on my bed with nowhere to go. I still have stuff by my feet, but I can't even imagine where I was a year ago. And it inspires me also to push further to be better. So I think I'm going to say that my loose goal is to have under 2,000 items in my clothing, accessories, makeup inventories combined by the start of 2024. Oh God, I haven't even thought about 2024 yet. And I'll have the exact numbers once I'm actually able to see exactly where my inventory is. But I believe if I declutter about 25 items a month plus whatever I take in, I'll be able to reach that goal. The thing with this though is that I feel a little bit decluttered out at the moment. I feel like I pushed myself, and I'm really proud of myself. I was very honest about a lot of things, about how I'm not wearing things and I won't be wearing them. Maybe they're uncomfortable. Maybe there's, X, Y, and Z type of reason. But at the present moment, I'm a little bit sick of looking at my stuff as disposable, looking at my stuff and thinking, do I want to keep this or do I want to get rid of this? And I did clear out the layer that I'm ready to clear out at the moment. So that part of me made me not want to set a goal right at the beginning of the year, but I know if I don't set a goal, then it'll be more likely that it'll take off in the direction of getting in more stuff if I'm not being mindful of it. And the way that I can be mindful of it that actually makes a difference is by actual numbers on paper. So I'm going to be okay with that. if I'm not reaching that 25 item threshold every month, at least in the beginning of the year, because maybe I'll have a change of heart a couple months in and I'll try on things and I'll be like, this isn't worthy of staying in my wardrobe. I can tell you that in October of 2022, I was decluttering things that in January of 2022, I would not have imagined I would have decluttered them. I would have been like, that's too sentimental. I wore that one time on an average day in 2017. And in October, I was like, Hannah, you just wore this once in 2017 and it's been 5 years. You got to get rid of it. So I imagine that kind of thing's going to happen again. I want to make more videos also about kind of like declutter questions to ask and stuff. I find those videos helpful. That's the kind of thing I'm always watching on YouTube. And because it pertains more to clothing, and clothing's not something that I focus on in my channel, I don't know if people would be interested in seeing that, but you'll have to let me know if you're interested. Maybe it's a kind of thing I'll try out a little bit and we'll see how it goes. Because it's complicated. I understand people's aversion to like the idea of decluttering because a lot of people don't have enough stuff that they need to declutter. I read a book, it was called Goodbye Things, and the author of that had a tiny apartment in Japan. It was like a pillow that could be folded out to sleep on, but also you could sit on. Instead of a TV, he had a VR headset. If you haven't watched my channel before and you don't know this, the reason why I'm focusing so much on decluttering is because I live in a small space and I have way too much stuff. When I counted up my inventory at the start of last year, I had 650 items in my tops category. I watch videos, declutter videos, minimalist videos, anything, and someone will be like, I can't believe I have 100 items in my wardrobe. And I'm like, I have over 2,000 items in my wardrobe. So the decluttering that I'm doing is all very necessary things in order to be living my life to the fullest. And I have found a correlation between getting rid of stuff and my happiness. I feel like in October, after I decluttered about 300 things in that month alone, I feel like I was nicer to people. I feel like I had more patience because although I'm still not where I want to be, I'm way better than I was then. I'm striving for progress and progress has been made, and I have the ability to come into my space and have some relaxation. I was able to get a big TV this year. For the past couple of years, I've had a TV that I believe is about 20 inches, like diagonally, which is really small. It's like looking at a computer screen. And for my birthday, my boyfriend got me a 43-inch TV, and it's fantastic. And that's the kind of thing that I wouldn't have room for had I not done all of the decluttering that I did this year. So I am really proud of myself, and I think keeping track, keeping numbers going is the way to go. At least for me and my data-focused brain. I was thinking about it though when I was like, I really don't want to, at any point next year, have more than I have right now. I want the number to keep going down. And I imagine in January, I might have some things that I put on and decide not to keep. And I'm sure there'll be kind of normal wear and tear. I notice a hole in a sock. I use up a skincare product, something like that. But because of all of the decluttering I just did so recently, I don't feel like I'm in a place to make a big bag of clothes to donate. So what I came up with was doing sort of a modified no-buy for the start of the year. The term no-buy, it's really like only for my brain. I'm calling it a no-buy in my brain, but I know that for most other people's standards, it would not be considered a no-buy because it has many caveats. All these caveats are kind of wrapped in separate points also. I have had my budget for makeup and clothing be intertwined the whole time that I've been doing this in conjunction with my YouTube channel, and I'm not totally sold on that at the moment just because I feel like my clothing purchases and my makeup purchases serve completely different purposes. Most of the clothing purchases that I'm making, I don't need. I do think I'm making good clothing purchases. I'm buying things that are comfortable, that are easy to wear, that are neutrals, that are mix and match. That's something that I did not do in the past. In the past, I was like buying club dresses that barely fit me. And now I'm buying like a nice comfy pair of leggings that I wear all the time. But that in contrast to the makeup that I'm buying, which is mostly things that I want to talk about in my channel and in hopes of growing my channel. I am doing this as a hobby right now, but it would be nice to grow my channel to have it be at least a small cushion of income in exchange for all the time that I put into it. And I know that the way to reach new people is to talk about newer makeup. So I'm not going to transform into a review channel. I'm not going to be reviewing a new palette every single day, but I do want to structure into my buying plan, buying maybe 2 or 3 makeup purchases a month, depending on what's exciting. If it's a month that's really slow and there's nothing that I want to review, I don't need to, but if there's several things I want to review, that's okay. Because also, I don't want to be putting out content about makeup for the sake of it. I don't want to be talking about a palette that I don't like. I've seen reviews like that in the past. I remember when I was looking for reviews on the Urban Decay Robin Eisenberg palette, I stumbled across a channel that I've heard of before, and the person was like, I don't have anything else to talk about, so I guess we'll talk about this today. It looks stupid, blah, blah, blah. I'm paraphrasing, but still. And I was like, this isn't fun to watch a review from someone who doesn't care to be reviewing it, and I never want to be like that. So this is kind of like a growing pain in a way. Like, we'll see how it goes. And if I find that I'm losing the ethics of my channel, I'm losing the idea of using what you have and making informed decisions about what you have, I can reel that back. But right now, I'm down with the thought of buying something makeup-wise that I wouldn't necessarily buy just for me to love it, so that I can review it on my channel. And I think that will also kind of go hand in hand with me being more thoughtful about what I kind of like keep in my makeup collection. I'm very happy about how I've gotten down my collection of like base products and stuff like that. My lip products, I decluttered from, my first inventory was over 250 lip products, and I don't know what it is right now, but it's probably under 70, which might sound like a lot, but like considering where it was, that's fantastic. So I know that most of my reviews will probably be in the eyeshadow category, but yeah, I think it might just be more frequent, like, do I love this enough to actually keep it and cherish it after I get my money's worth by reviewing it? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been in that position yet, so we're going to have to kind of go with it and see how it feels. And at any point, if I'm like, this doesn't feel like me, if it feels like my channel's becoming review after review, I could scale that back, but that's just something that we're going to try out for now. So this no buy that I'm talking about that's in my brain is pretty much going to be for like clothing purchases and stuff like that. What I wrote down is that the purpose is to unlearn shopping habits. I'm definitely browsing too much. It's clearly a symptom of being in this world where businesses have benefited so much from the internet, from making us feel like it's normal to be in a constant stage of shopping. I don't want to feel like that anymore. With last year making better shopping purchases, I got a lot better at seeing things and saying, that's cute, and moving on. Just the other day, right before the year started, I had a cart at Urban Outfitters, and I have some store credit that probably would have covered the whole cart, and the things in it were cute, I could wear them, and I was like, I don't need it, and I closed out of it. So I hope to kind of do that when I'm confronted with clothing that I like in the form of ads, and learn to stop looking for things. I wrote down also to only purchase from my wish list, but try to not seek items out. I'm gonna make a whole separate video about my wish list. That's something I've did the past 2 years also. So we'll talk more specifically about what the wish list purchases mean. But I guess the idea is that with the no buy, if I come across an item that's like perfect, that I know I want, that I've like vetted the idea of, I don't want to tell myself like, you can't buy that item because you're not in the time of frame for it, if I really believe in my heart that it's like a good thought out purchase. So there's that. I also wrote 1 to 2 exceptions for spectacular, ideally in-person items. And I can go thrifting 1 or 2 times, but no sooner than February. So maybe others would call it like a low buy, but it's kind of just like a we'll see how it goes. It's like a structured shopping plan, and we'll see how it goes. Because I do want to learn to have like a natural relationship with acquiring stuff. And I think that's like a normal people thing that you're like, this is something that I need. And if I see that one thing that I really need and it's perfect, I can buy it. But I'm not going to buy things that I don't need. Oh, I didn't even say before that this no buy is like a 3-month thing. I also have a list of questions that I wrote down that I would like to ask myself when I'm shopping, which I might make a video about those questions too, because that's the kind of thing I like watching. But yeah, I feel like that all kind of goes hand in hand with some other resolutions that I wrote down. Some of them sound kind of generic, but whatever, I'm a person. Things are generic for a reason because a lot of people feel them. I wrote that this year I want to prioritize my needs over my wants, and I think that carries out to a lot of things, but definitely in terms of this channel, it's about my shopping, because what I need to do is not buy frivolous things and save some money, even if what I want is to acquire a new pretty thing. I also wrote about that pertaining to drinking more water. I'm so bad, my blood is soda and I need to drink more water and eat more foods that nourish my body instead of things that are short-term exciting all the time, exclusively. Another thing is that I jog every day. It's been almost 10 years. Actually, in 2023, it will be 10 years that I've jogged every single day. I often find myself jogging at night, and the thing that I don't like about that is I feel like I spend my whole day being like, oh, I have to jog soon. If I jog in the morning, like I do on vacation, I get it out of the way, and then I'm like free to live my life and not worry about when I'm going to go jog. So I want to try to jog in the morning. I also wrote to do like a workout video once a week. That's my goal. I used to go to the gym all the time in the past, and I found that I just miss feeling a little bit of strength in my body. I feel like I don't have any arm strength anymore. I don't have any core strength. I do have some leg strength from my running, but I feel like I could do like a workout video once a week, and that's a good place to start. And that's very reasonable. And also I want to read 12 books this year, one a month. I used to read a lot back when I was in college, and a job that I had after college, it kind of like worked really well in my schedule. And after I left that job, I just fell out of the habit of it. And I have a lot of books, and the best way to declutter books is to read them and be like, okay, yeah, I didn't like that one that much. I'm not going to read that again, and then I can get rid of it. I also just really like the experience of being invested in a book, of having my mind in a totally different situation that I may never experience. I find it really inspiring, and I also find that when my mind is occupied with something like a book, I'm not doing something like shopping, browsing websites, fantasizing about how great I'll look if I have a different pair of jeans. So I know those are pretty boring, generic, basic goals, but they are my goals and I am excited. I know I set a goal last year in the video of this sort about making fashion content, and I definitely did not do that. I mean, I guess I had that one vlog where I talked about my outfits, and I did like that video. My problem is still my lack of space for that sort of thing. So I'm not as optimistic right now that I'm gonna do one a month, but we'll see. I still want to keep that in my mind as a goal because I like the sound of that. And I also think I've had this idea. I want to try to wear as much of my clothes as I can this year. Often in these decluttering videos I watch, they're like, if you haven't worn it in 6 months, chuck it. And I'm like, I wore this thing 3 years ago and I really, really, really liked it. I think you learn a lot when you put yourself in the situation of like, am I gonna wear this today? Instead of thinking abstractly like, do I like this thing that sits in my closet my entire life? So I might set out on a goal like that. Since I don't have my inventory numbers yet, I don't know like how doable it is, because if I still have like 650 shirts, I don't know if I can wear 650 unique shirts in a year naturally. But if I have like 400, I could do that. So yeah, my thought was maybe I'll try to make some content surrounding trying to wear all my clothes. But I don't know. I think that's the gist of what I wanted to say though. I hope it wasn't too spread out and unorganized. The summary, if I can try to summarize, is that in 2022, In 2022, I decluttered a lot of stuff. I got myself into a better position. I'm learning better shopping habits. I didn't touch on the budget, which I was pretty good on most of the time. I fell off of it in June, which we've mentioned, and I kind of overspent in December also, just kind of in the rush of buying other people things. I was buying myself a little bit more, and in the rush of me posting a video every day, which I did in December, I was kind of like thinking about it less. Like I was busy, but I was still shopping. And as I said in my budget update video that I posted, I think, well, I filmed it in like August and I don't think it came out until like November. It was stuck in the end of a video. I'm not too upset about it because in the past I was off the rails every single month, and if I, in this budget, go off the rails every 6 months, that's 5 less months that I've gone off the rails. So I'm gonna try it in 2023 to like not go off the rails at all. Or if I do go off the rails, do it in like one purchase and not in others. But again, I want to move to be like a regular person when it comes to shopping. And that might be slightly regular person-y, right? That like most of the time you shop for your well-being and occasionally you shop a little bit more than you should and then you go back to shopping normally. Because I'm doing this kind of like modified no-buy thing, I do feel like it buys me a little bit of time to figure out what my exact spending plan is going to be later in the year. Oh, I didn't even say before that this no-buy is like a 3-month thing. Sorry, this is unorganized. Maybe I should make another resolution to take notes. But yeah, the idea is that the no-buy is going to be for January, February, and March, and then we'll kind of reevaluate after. My very loose idea that I have in my head now is a 3-month no-buy, a 3-month budget, and maybe I'll add in budget money from the start of the year into those other 3 months, and then maybe another 3-month no-buy, and then maybe another 3 months of having larger budgets. It's kind of a thought, but I have more time to decide on that because I'm not going to be going down the route of letting myself buy things until April. So yeah, I hope this wasn't too unorganized. I hope this was clear. I would love if you stuck around to follow my journey. There's going to be more videos along these lines soon because I will be making a video after I count up my makeup inventory and after I count up my clothing inventory, which I am so unbelievably excited for. And yeah, that's everything for today. Let me know your goals down below too, and we could stay accountable together. All right, bye.